Chapter 3 deals with a very important and essential component of economics, which is optimization. We previously discussed three sort of main principles of economics. Those included optimization, equilibrium, and empiricism. So we're going to start here with the very first one, optimization, which is really a fundamental idea that we use to analyze the world via the lens of economics. So, as always, we've got some learning objectives, only 3 of them in this chapter, but they'll be a little bit more involved than perhaps some of the ones in the introductory chapter. So we're going to start in on learning objective 1, total cost benefit. So before we get into that, it's interesting to kind of note, what outside of the learning objectives, what is something that I would want to take away from learning about optimization? Now, the examples we'll do will have some application to you, but you might not see exactly how this applies to daily life. And I'd say there's 2 ways that we're looking at this. One is basically just to kind of have a framework to understand how people in general make decisions. So how can I develop a particular model that shows me how people make decisions? And if I make that assumption that people optimize in a particular way, then I can analyze the decisions I see happening in the real world with that model. So much like we did in that grocery store line example in one of the previous videos. I see people in the lines. If I assume everybody is optimizing, the line with fewer people in it is going to be moving slower per person than the line with more people in it. So we need to have some framework to decide how do people make decisions. This is going to be that one. Now, the second benefit is, in fact, to help you think harder about the decisions you make in your everyday lives, and hopefully we'll learn something that allows us to make better decisions. So that's kind of the goal of what we're doing. We start off here with total cost benefit. Now, what do we mean by optimization? By optimization, we mean people make the best choice. And in particular, what we're referring to here is choosing the best option among a set of alternatives. So best option among a set of alternatives. That's what we mean by optimization. Here are the options I have available to me, as described by, say, my budget constraint. And now I'm going to decide which one is best. So how do I evaluate all of the various alternatives? One option, the one we're going to start with here, is to do the total cost benefit analysis. And that leads us to an important idea called net benefit. So the net benefit of something is the total benefit you receive minus the total cost. Right, so this would be if I want to make an example to say, I'm going to sell pizza. Okay, so what is the net benefit on any day of selling pizza would be the total amount of money that I get from selling pizza minus the total amount of cost that I incurred. So let's say if I sell 5 pizzas, I make a total of $100. Okay, might be a little bit high. These are expensive pizzas, $20 a pizza. So I make a total of $100. That's my total benefit. And if I make those 5 pizzas, I have a total cost of, let's say, $50. So my net benefit then is simply to take the total benefit minus the total cost. What in net did I make from selling these pizzas? So the net benefit is equal to the total benefit minus the total cost. In my example, that is $100 minus $50, or a $50 net benefit. And our principle of optimization here would say that when I decide how many pizzas do I want to make and sell, I would compare the net benefit for all the various alternatives. So if, let's say, selling 10 pizzas has a net benefit equal to $30, if those were my two alternatives, sell 5 or 10 pizzas, I would optimize by choosing selling 5 pizzas. That brings me the highest net benefit. Now, it might not bring me the highest total benefit. So it could be that selling 10 pizzas gives me a total benefit of $150, but the total cost is $120. Right? So I can't just consider the total benefit or the total cost. I have to consider the net benefit. What do I gain by doing this? And so that's the basic idea. I optimize using net benefit or total benefit by analyzing the total cost and the total benefit, which we summarize with the idea of net benefit. So we'll do an example next where we try to decide what apartment do we want to rent. And so we'll bring in some ideas of opportunity cost along with this principle of optimization that we've just learned.